Hello there, YouTube, and today I want to talk about Bakhmut, or to be more specific, how Bakhmut can fall. This is my first video on YouTube, especially about war in Ukraine, and basically what motivated me to do this video was watching some of the war YouTube videos, war YouTubers who were basically overviewing and discussing war situation. Now there's one YouTuber, which video I will link in description. He said some things, right? He said some things which I strongly disagreed with, and I thought why not make a video about it and you know talk about stuff because I also have something to say, and why not do it on YouTube and share with you people, share with you and get your response possibly. That would be great. So, in his video, he said that Russians will stop their attack at Blagodatne and will not go any further because there is nothing here. And they would also stop their attack because it is winter. Uh, his point that there is nothing here went over my head at first, but what actually triggered me per se is that he said this is a winter, and they would not attack. And to my understanding, winter is the best time for tanks to attack through open fields because mud becomes solid and tanks can go through it. And usually, winter is almost the only time of the year where tanks are not bound to roads and they can go through whatever it is. And as we can see, um, there's nothing that can stop a full-scale armored assault here. In the sense of terrain, I mean, and if Russians were to use frozen fields to go through, um, they can be successful at it. And basically, there's a road that supports and supplies these two cities right here. It can be important, and if Russia were to attack, they would make a semi-encirclement of Bakhmut. Um, so that was that, and the other thing is that I've wanted to talk about is logistical situation in Bakhmut, because Ukrainians are, no doubt about it, are very determined and motivated to fight, and they will defend Bakhmut until it's useless. Probably until Bakhmut turns into nuclear war landscape. No buildings, nothing, just burned out land and nothing else. So the only way Ukrainians can leave Bakhmut to Russians is when Russians cut their supply lines. I would assume this is the main road where supplies come from. And a lot of war YouTubers emphasize about this road and about this Russian attack. As you can see, it sort of spearheads right to this road. But I would argue that this is not the most important supply line that Bakhmut has. First of all, there is another road. It is a bit smaller than this one, but I'm pretty sure it is used for supplying as well. But what I realized when I looked at the map and all that, I realized that railroads are still a thing, and railroads are the most efficient way to deliver troops and supply and equipment to armies. And I thought, where are the railroads that goes to Bakhmut and out? And I found one that is actually perfect. It starts right here, right, almost at the middle, at the heart of Bakhmut, and it goes here, 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 and here it's and here it goes through these little bridges, and we can actually see that Russians attacked here, probably to cut the supply lines right here. There's actually another railroad. It goes right here, and it goes out of the city. It goes through all these fields, and it ends up in this city, where we can see a big supply hub right? Right here and right here. So I'm pretty sure that before anything good ends up in Bakhmut city, it starts right here and is supplied by this railroad through here, right here, because there's a depot here, and it would make a lot of sense. It would be more convenient. Now, this spearhead attack, I'm afraid, is not only to cut off this road, excuse me, is not only to cut off this road, but actually to capture this city and this city. And if these two cities would fall, I'm afraid there is almost no way for Ukraine to supply Bakhmut. Again, don't forget that not only railroads are used to supply with troops and ammunition and food and such. In case of Bakhmut actually falling, Ukrainians would need to retreat to save their troops, to save their tanks, and they would need to retreat via roads and railroad systems. Now, as we can see, Russians are desperately trying to cut off any line of communication, obviously to trap Ukrainian soldiers in Bakhmut or force them to leave. So I would assume, and this is the topic of this video, that if Russians to capture this place right here, to capture what's this called? Chasovariskaya Specialne. I don't know. I don't know how to call this, but you get it. Mykolaiivka. Well, let's call it Mykolaiivka and Chasiv Yar. If they were to capture these two cities, they would cut off supply lines to Bakhmut. And with capture of those two cities, the Bakhmut will fall. I am sure of that. Now, this is the end of the video. The quality of the video is actually questionable because this is my first video and I am terrible at it. But I will try to increase the quality with new videos and I will be better, I promise. So if you like it or you don't like it, put it in the comment section. Tell me why, and I will elaborate and I would gladly change my mind. But that's my overall opinion, that Russians will fail at storming Bakhmut itself, but if they were to capture those two cities right here, they would cut off the most important supply line. It is this road right here, the railroad right here, and this big road right here. So yeah, that's how Russia can defeat Ukrainians at Bakhmut. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Thank you for your views, and remember, always remember, Russia will be free.